Hello, everybody. Hey, friends, how are you? Welcome back to the podcast. I want to start today by just saying thank you to all of you lovely listeners who you're logging in. Every Monday, every Thursday, you're listening to the episodes, you're sending me messages, you're letting me know how much you're really enjoying this. I've had people tell me this is the only podcast I'm listening to, which is like, wow. I mean, a year ago, I didn't think I'd be hosting a podcast, which is basically me documenting what I'm doing, which is this wild and crazy ride of taking a business from 0 to a million in a year. I didn't know I'd be doing a podcast, and I like doing podcasts because I kind of like talking, and this is really easy and fun for me to do. So I love that you guys are loving this and enjoying it. And thank you for all of the lovely messages. They are deeply appreciated. So this week, this episode, what are we talking about today? We are talking about the $1 million strategy that I'm going to be using to get me to $1 million. So I said in a previous episode that my year, which I was going to start on March the 1st, but because of this documentation process, which has taken me a lot longer to do all the back end stuff and to kind of create all those systems and automate and get my VA on board and trained up, because that was taking a bit longer, I moved the start date to May the 1st. So we're going to start on May the 1st, and this is my strategy of what I'm going to be doing from May the 1st to May the 1st next year, and how I'm going to get to $1 million. And I'm just going to lay it out for you today. I'm all about the transparency. I know this is going to help some of you. Some of you might have questions. Feel free to send any questions in and ask. But yeah, I hope that you find this one interesting. So the first part of my $1 million strategy is that I am creating a brand new digital offer, and it's a high ticket offer. Now, at the moment in my mind, I'm thinking of it having a $5,000 price tag on it. But as I'm building it out and feeling this out, this could potentially be a $10,000 offer as well. I'm still just trying to find my comfortable zone of the price point that I want to charge for this. And what it's doing is pulling in all of my knowledge, my experience around business coaching, tech coaching, using AI, using evergreen strategies, and creating, it's like a mishmash hybrid type thing, right? So it's part structured course, it's part implementation community, and it's part mastermind, all meshed together to deliver you this really incredible result, which is going to be so useful for so many online business owners. And I feel like it's the final step. Like, as business owners, I think the thing that I'm creating is the final step, the thing that people really want, but they don't know how to do, and I'm giving them that bit. So that's the thing I'm creating, right? It's a digital offer, and it's a high ticket offer. And in future episodes, we're going to go into that offer in a lot more detail. But I'm just kind of giving you the skeleton, the outline of the offer that I'm creating. And I'm not going to be learning anything new in this year. So I'm not going to be like learning how to do drop shipping and then scaling that. And I'm not going to be like learning how to do Etsy and become like a heavy marketer seller over on Etsy. I'm using the skills that I know and the experience that I know, which is creating digital offers. And I do that a lot. I have a lot of low ticket offers, and now I'm at that point where I'm going to scale what I already know and what I already do into a high ticket offer, and that is going to be the thing that's going to get me to my $1 million year. So if we look at the numbers, I did an episode before and I talked about the numbers and how I really normalize this for myself by looking at the numbers. If we look at the numbers, if I charged $5,000 for this, I would need 200 people in a year to make a purchase for me to get to the $1 million threshold. If I charge $10,000 for this offer, I need 100 people to say yes and buy this offer for me to get to $1 million in a year. Now, this offer that I'm running, it's like a 12-week thing. It's a 12-week, I haven't come up with the word for it yet, but some people say like a 12-week program or a 12-week package or a 12-week community, whatever. It's a 12-week thing, right? So from the start of the first week to the final 12 week, you'll be able to get this thing done that gives you this fantastic result for your life and for your business, right? And so what I'm breaking that down as strategically is that that means I can run this 4 times in a year. So 3-month container, that's the word I wanted. There it is. It just popped in my head. This 3-month or this 12-week container. By the way, let me know what's better. Is it better to say 12 weeks or is it better to say 3 months? Like what feels better to you? Drop it in the comments or, on Spotify or in the YouTube chat and let me know. Because that's also a little niggle I've got right now. Do I call this 12 weeks or do I say 3 months? What feels better? I would love your input. Anyway, I just got sidetracked. So if it's a 3-month container, then it's going to run 4 times. So I have 4 opportunities throughout the next year to get to 200 people if it's at the $5,000 offer, or to get 100 people at the $10,000 offer. So what we would be looking at in those 4 cycles that I would run this high ticket 12-week container would be, if we went for the 5,000 price tag, I would need to get 50 people in each time I open the doors to let people in. Then each cohort I'd need to hit a target of 50 people each time I open the doors. And if I went for the 10,000 offer, I would need to get 25 people in every cycle. So every 3 months, I'd need to get 25 new buyers to come on board in order for me to hit that 1 million goal by the end of the year. So that's the strategy. I need to decide on the price and, own it confidently. Here's what my gut is telling me. My gut is telling me that for the first cycle, I should run this at a 5,000 price point with the first cohort. And any kinks that come up during that, I can tighten, tweak, add in, remove what is unnecessary, so that by the second cohort, this thing is cemented, running beautifully, and is good to go. And I reckon at the second cohort state, I will probably move this up to the 10,000 price point. Or I might just go the whole year and run it as $5,000 to come in. And then at the start of the second year in business, I will move it to a 10,000 offer. Like, do I think it's a $10,000 value for this 12-week container? 100%. 100%. My question is do I launch it at that price that I think it's worth? Or do I play it safe for the first cohort and go with 5,000? And of course there will be payment plans. So if you are listening to this and you're like, I want to be in Remi's thing, but that sounds ridiculous, there will be payment plans available as well. But I'm thinking for the very first time I run it, to run it at that $5,000 mark, and then tweak it for that first 12-week container, and then run it again, and we go to the full price of what I think this is actually worth. So these are the thoughts that I'm still mulling over in my mind, but what I am sure of is that it is going to be a 12-week/3-month container, and there are going to be 4 cycles of it in my $1 million year, and I know the numbers that I'm aiming for. Now, if we open the first cohort and let's say I hit 30 people and I don't get my 50, then for the second cohort, I will just carry over that 20 and I'm going to aim for 70 people to come in, right? And I'll just keep rolling it over, and knowing my luck, not my luck, knowing how people buy things, I suspect what will happen is the first time I run it, I don't hit my either 50-person or my 25-person goal, and we fall a little bit short on the first cohort. And probably by the third or the fourth cohort, I think we will exceed what we're expecting to get in, because buyers' natures are that they like to kind of see things out in the wild. They like to see other people go first, and then they might buy later. So I've been doing business long enough to know that sometimes it needs that repeating module, that repeating kind of module wasn't the word I wanted. The repeating pattern of people seeing me doing this over and over and over again, and opening the cart and closing the cart. And so I know the goal number for each of the cycles that I want to hit. It's either going to be 50 people at the 5,000 mark, or it's going to be 25 people at the 10,000 mark. I know my goal numbers, and if I fall short, I'm okay with that, because I know as the longer this goes on, the more people that go through it, the more testimonials we have, the selling of this will actually get easier. And so I have no doubt that my fourth round of this will be the biggest round and will have the most amount of people in it, because we will be 9 months in at that point, and this will have been well and truly tested. So that's my strategy for the year. I realise I've just gone over 10 minutes, and I like to keep these short for you, so I apologise for that. But I just wanted to share the full strategy with you and be honest about what I'm thinking and feeling and how I want to move forward with this. And then the other part of this is that I realised last week that a lot of the people who are following this journey are also likely going to be some of the people who would be a really good fit for this new offer, this new high ticket offer that I'm creating. And it was a really interesting sort of light bulby moment for me, because I hadn't planned this. It just was a thought that, a lot of the people that are listening to this are likely to be online business owners themselves. They are following along to see how I'm doing this, and they might actually also be a really good fit for this offer that I'm bringing out. So yeah, that was just a little thought that by me documenting this and sharing this, and I'm looking at a lot of the people that have come into the hub. And by the way, if you're not in the hub and you're listening to this, come and join me in the hub, onlinebusinesstemple.com/hub. I look at the people that have come in, and I ask some questions in there, and a lot of the answers that people are giving me, I'm like, you all would be a perfect fit for this. So that's kind of a nice little bonus, I think, that's come up for me through documenting this, realizing that some of the people, or quite a lot of the people that are listening to this podcast, will be such a perfect fit for this offer. And I look forward to sharing with you very soon more details about the actual offer. We'll have a whole episode dedicated to that. So yeah, I just thought that was really meta, that the people that are watching this the people that are watching me document this will also be a really good fit for the offer. So I thought that was pretty meta. So I thought I'd share that with you. And finally, my friend has just left, Debs. She's lovely. Well, you're going to meet her next week. So while she was here, we did a podcast episode, and that's going to be dropping on Monday. So I want to remind you, on Monday morning, normally just after 9 o'clock, I drop 9 a.m. UK time. I drop a new episode, and Monday's episode is going to be the first episode on this podcast where I have a guest, and my lovely friend Deborah Staniforth is going to be interviewing me, and she's an NLP coach and an NLP practitioner. If you don't know anything about NLP, like I didn't, then you definitely want to listen on Monday, because it's so good. And if you do know about NLP, you're going to want to watch it, because you get to watch an absolute pro going through her process of like an NLP session with a complete novice, me. And it's really interesting seeing what comes up for me. You see my light bulb moments, and it's a really beautiful episode. It is longer than normal. I think it's around 20 minutes, but it's a really good, joyful, thought-provoking episode where Remi meets NLP for the first time. So I hope you will all be tuning in on Monday. And that's a wrap, my loves. That's a wrap. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.